They were having a concerning moment. Some sound happened, which shocks Pomni to look over. Jax has a picture in his room of Ribbit and Kaufmo with him smiling. Helps paint the picture of why he was feeling so hurt about Kaufmo in episode 6, because it shows that they had a relationship. The imagery of 3 happens a lot. We see 3 when it's the 2 eyes and bubble, and I think there's meaning. Every frame, we're going through every frame, baby. Call me Crazy King or I don't care, we're analyzing it. Who is that? What is up, Northpack? I'm gonna react to the episode 7 trailer that just dropped. It's only 58 seconds long, so I have no idea if it'll be relevant at all to anything, but I'm recording this reaction just in case it is relevant to any of my theories that I have, so we can talk through them. And let's get started.
On the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus, it's time to soak in the sun as everyone has a fun-filled day at the beach.
Beach part. Ooh.
On the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus,
The
it's
Mannequin.
time to soak in the sun as On the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus, it's time to
Red and blue imagery.
Amazing Digital Circus. On the next episode, it's time.
This is terrifying. This is.
I think I found the way to leave.
Whose voice is that? Is that Kaufmo? I have a feeling that's Kaufmo. Okay. Whose voice is that? Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. Someone found an exit. What is that door? What is that door? We're going through this. 3 circles. Okay, the imagery of 3 happens a lot. There's 5, 7, obviously, but we see 3 when it's the 2 eyes and bubble. And I think there's meaning and significance to the 2 eyes and the 2 colors, blue and red, okay, and bubble. And I truly believe that every person has like a bubble counterpart to them. And I know I sound insane even saying any of this, but I'm just gonna say it. And that imagery happens a lot. And in intermission time, we see 2 eyeballs, which we know are the blue eye and the green eye. And the green eye is also red. And so anytime we see green, we can also assume red. Now, I have a theory that the red and blue eyes are relevant because we see a lot of imagery in that. We see it in the cars in episode 4 at Spudsy. Literally, there's 2 cars in the parking lot. Pomni is obviously red and blue. We see red and blue imagery a lot. We saw Caine's office right here. I actually have a theory that the red and blue imagery means the blue indicates a human counterpart of a person, and the red/green indicates an AI or computer side of a person. So with that being said, I actually think that Caine is part human, and that is why he is able to abstract, or it looks like he's able to abstract. And there's actually is one character who I don't believe is human, and that's Zooble. And I will talk more. I'm making a video right now to talk more about these theories in depth. I was literally writing out this script before this video, before the trailer dropped. And so I'm hoping to get that out before episode 7 drops, because I know that some of those theories probably won't be right once we see that. But let's see. Okay, what is happening here? So we have some sort. Ooh, there's Zooble. Okay, we have some sort of glitched rift. There's Zooble by themselves, eyes closed. You'll notice that Zooble only has 1 eye, and if you match it with the red and blue eye, Zooble has the red eye. So I think that's one thing that shows why Zooble is all AI. Let's keep going. Something's happening. More glitch rifts here. We have Ragatha and Pomni looking really disturbed with some stuff in the background. They look like they're in a strange place. Look, they look like they're in some kind of like... Do you ever play Star Fox Adventures? And in Star Fox Adventures, at the end, there's like the crystal thing where the final boss is... I almost don't even want to spoil it. I could probably spoil it, but it's a actually really cool final boss. It looks like they're in a place like that, or like in Kingdom Hearts style. Some kind of pillar. There's some kind of wispy stuff moving around. So something clearly crazy happens. I think this rift is likely Caine abstracting. I think there's going to be something that probably happens with Caine abstracting. I'm not fully sure. But there's something bad that happens. Something very bad is going to happen. It's time. Intermission time. I think intermission time does a lot to potentially spoil a lot of what is happening in the Amazing Digital Circus. Keys. We're looking at all of the keys. These are physical. They look like physical gold keys, but they are potentially representative of Jax and the fact that Jax has all the keys, or someone that has all the keys, or the mannequin. It's time again. I remember seeing a figure come into here. We have all-seeing eyes. Ooh, whoa, okay, they're in some kind of labyrinth. This looks more like Super Mario style labyrinth, or Zelda. They have, you know, those labyrinths in Breath of the Wild where you have high walls and then you have a lower section. They're in some insane labyrinth with the teeth and all-seeing eye. Is this an adventure? I doubt this is an adventure. A golden hand. Someone is holding the golden hand. Caine is holding a small golden hand. Okay. What is that representative of? Okay, buttons, blue and red. Again, blue and red imagery, a lot. We get a lot of blue and red imagery. Wait, that wasn't Caine, that was Kinger. That was Kinger holding the golden hand. So they are going to go on some adventure or be forced into some adventure that is going to go wrong. So I assume there's a beach part. Then it seems like they're going to have some labyrinth-like adventure, either forcibly or not. I think we're all on edge and we think that it's going to be forcible, but I assume the beach part maybe will go well enough. They'll come back and Caine will put them on this labyrinth-like adventure. And Kinger was holding that hand. There's an orb that shows snow. Snowy orb. Okay. Wow, there's so much. This is 58 seconds. I think I even skipped the first half. I might even need to just go back. Because I should maybe look at this in order. But I assumed that I would not be looking at it for this long. I have no idea how long this video is going to be then. Sorry, we're going to start from the beginning and go through what we've seen. So we see the mannequin coming back. The mannequin is coming from the hallway. Down that hallway, we know that there are doors, but we don't know, because we know Ribbit's door is the last door on the left over there. And there's a hallway beyond that. And I think we've seen that there are doors there. But they don't have any plaques. They basically are just empty. They're empty doors. We have seen mannequins in the Amazing Digital Circus before, namely Dr. Football in episode 1, which is a strange thing to note. This mannequin specifically is very likely not Dr. Football and is the mannequin that has been lurking in every episode since episode 3. So we have episodes 3, 4, and 5 where this mannequin lurks, and people people theorize that might be Gummigoo, because Gummigoo after episode 2 was vanished, and this mannequin has been lurking around ever since. And so is this mannequin is going to come back? Is it Gummigoo? Potentially. The reason why I think it might be is because Gooseworx has talked about how Gummigoo is by far her favorite NPC, and I have this feeling that Gummigoo's adventure is not done. When we saw in episode 4, see, this is hard, because I'm like, is this Gummigoo or is the other Gummigoo the real Gummigoo? Because in episode 4, it does look like there's a moment of recognition that Gummigoo has when he leaves Spudsies, where he acts the entire time like he doesn't know who Pomni is, and then at the very end, he gives this moment of recognition, almost like, I have to act this way. I'm not allowed to act any other way. Almost like something might happen to him if he didn't. And so, could this be Gummigoo? Yes, but then that would mean that that other character wasn't Gummigoo, right? So that could still be true. That could still be like the other character doesn't know them because it's not Gummigoo. And if it was Gummigoo, they would actually know Pomni. But they're stuck with some of Gummigoo's memories. And so when Pomni says Gummigoo in episode 4, Gummigoo perks up. Gummigoo goes like, wait, what? And so maybe he's like, wait, this girl, this jester girl, clearly does know me because he knows his own name, Gummigoo, whoever this NPC is. And then as he's leaving, does this moment of like, wait, should I know her? And he's like racking his brain because he doesn't know who she is. And so this could be Gummigoo if that is true, right? Where that other Gummigoo was some Gummigoo that is not the one that remembers. We still have no idea. I will say I don't know that I don't know that Orbsman remembers things in between adventures. So like that obviously is the easiest write-off of what is being explained in that moment. But let's keep going. I think we've talked about that enough. All right, so we see this. I am looking for clues in these scratchy films. There's something going on here. The problem is with 1080p, it's not enough. Okay.
Amazing Digital Circus, it's time to soak in the sun as
Beach. Yeah. Oh, wait, did I miss the first one? Because it's time to soak in the sun. Oh, and then we go to this one. Wait, whose face is that? Was that a face? Whose face is that? Oh, that's terrifying. You see that face on the left? I could see it more clearly in the preview. And you'll notice even in here, notice this, we have the imagery. Red on the left, blue on the right, white in the middle. I don't know if that is specific imagery for this, but now I want to look at these glitches. Happy Jax with, why does he have a picture? Okay, so dilated eyes on Jax. This will also be part of my video. Dilated eyes on Jax, to me, indicate an unmasked emotion. So this is one of his true emotions that he's feeling right now. He's feeling a lot of existential dread right now, and he tried to get rid of it. Pomni pushed too far, and he cannot get rid of it. So he's laying in his room. That smiling face is interesting. You know what? I guess we can make the screen smaller. This glitching intentionally does not have many pixels. And so we're going to go back to the face one. Let's look at the glitches. Okay, yeah, so we see these look like, we see a face, and we see, it almost looks like keys. It almost looks like the keys, but there's clearly some kind of hexagonal shape here. Let's see. Okay, this one glitching has, I don't see anything. I can't make out anything significant from this glitching. Okay, it is really interesting that we got that opening scene twice, right? Like that is very, very ominous, because the cast, it's almost like they're gonna redo it. That something is gonna happen and it's gonna be redone, which is an ominous thing. Jax looking happy with what looks like Toe Mater. He's happy with Toe Mater over there, you know what I'm saying? Who is that? Hey, this is editing Danny. So I can actually see in this version now, it's pretty clear. It's Ribbit and Kaufmo. So it looks like Jax has a picture in his room of Ribbit and Kaufmo with him smiling, which helps paint the picture of why he was feeling so hurt about Kaufmo in episode 6. Because it shows that they had a relationship. Like, we know now that they had some kind of happy relationship that Jax cared about enough to hang a picture up in his room. Caine's office. Okay. What are we looking at? We're looking at a sun? Why does Caine have an office? Is this his office in this adventure? We have the red and blue imagery again. We have a moon. I will note that we get red and blue imagery in the moon and the sun, and that I think is significant. For some reason, again, I know that I am probably overthinking a lot of these things, and that's okay. I'm gonna overthink them on purpose. If you believe it or not, that is totally fine. But so when I say insane things that I know, people will mostly just say, "Oh no, that is like you're doing way too much overthinking." I know. So when I say I think there might be a reason why Caine is afraid of getting frisky with the moon, besides just the fact that the moon is being really frisky, right? So it's obviously a joke. That's the layer 1. But there might be another layer as to why the moon wants to get frisky and why Caine is afraid of that. Caine does not understand any sort of sexual reference anyway. That could just be that, which, by the way, that actually, to me, does also create a stronger connection for Zooble potentially being an AI, when I was talking about that earlier, because Zooble wants to have sex and Caine cannot understand it. And Caine's brain blocks off part of something that he's doing, which I actually believe it might be Bubble. It might be Bubble. Caine talks about how it might hurt Bubble's feelings, and Bubble might hold the human side of Caine's brain, and it locks it away. And that side also has locked away memories about Zooble, which I believe might be because Zooble is able. I know. I'm going to make a video. If I put this video out first and people watch it and they go, "What the hell are you talking about, Danny?" I'll make the case, okay? I'll make the case in the video, hopefully before episode 7. I'm working hard to get it before episode 7, so just have a little patience. But for now, just go along with it. So, let's see. Okay, we get that imagery again.
Next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus.
This almost looks like a Caine mouth, right? Like, this looks like it might be Caine's mouth. With the blue, with the red lips. But there's a lot of color there, so maybe not. Oh, what? The mannequin is outside of the house by the digital lake. Is it going to drown itself in it? Who's going to drown themselves in the digital lake? Blue. Ooh, what is this? This is something. That is something. That is a person. Who are you? It looks like Puss in Boots. Who is this? It looks like Puss in Boots from here. They've got like a sword. Ah, it is Caine. Oh, it's just Caine. Okay. I'm like way overthinking this. It is just Caine. What is he doing though? Caine is... Okay, so this is his... He's doing a flourish, like a ha type of thing. But what is going on with his hat? His hat is right there. What is coming out of his hat? Bubble? That is Bubble. It looks like Bubble. Yep. That's Bubble. Caine and Bubble, and he's doing a flourish. Okay. I don't know enough to make any assessment on that, but that obviously is significant. It's obviously significant. Okay, so now we're getting back to the place where we were at before, where the glitches are going to these purple things. We get a strange shot of Zooble for some reason. We get this shot. Now we're going into the adventure. This is interesting because Pomni looks shocked, right? So if this was a regular adventure, they probably would have been dropped in and been like, all right, let's get to work. So my guess is that this is not a regular adventure, because if it was, this moment wouldn't be so shocking. Ragatha looks scared. One of the things I love about the emotions of the Amazing Digital Circus, and why I think everything is really, really intentional. All the words, all the lighting, all the emotions, all of the animation, even the music, probably. I'm sure there's deeper meaning behind the music that I haven't even gone into, or like when the music is playing versus not. Obviously creates emotional depth, but there might be lore relevant depth to it as well. But Ragatha, what I love is you can see Ragatha is concerned. Any amount of Ragatha-ness that she had to hold on is she's kind of lost it. She is starting to feel like deep in crisis mode. and is like worried. You can see that almost fear on her face, like, oh no, maybe this one we won't get out of. And Pomni is surprised. They must have, did they hear something? Some sound. They were talking. They were having a concerning moment. Some sound happened, which shocks Pomni to look over. Someone maybe calls her name. Okay, we get the exit.
It's time to...
Okay. So in between the exit, we get glitches. I don't see anything in the glitches. This is the keys. The keys are interesting. This is on the floor of the Digital Circus, I believe, because this is the checkered floor. These are physical keys, though. And my worry is... Oh, whoa, there's like a boss key there. Do you see that, like, triple pronged key? It looks like a boss key. My worry is that this is some physical manifestation of some real keys that Jax used to have a non-physical version of. I wonder if there are any keys here that we've seen before. I don't recognize them enough to know that. I don't think so, because I think the keys that Jax usually have are like curved. They're usually curved on the bottom, and I don't see any curved ones. I mean, yeah, I see a curved one, but they're usually circular on top and curved on the bottom. And so this one in the bottom middle has a square top, which I don't think we've seen before. I could be wrong, though. Let's see. We've already looked at these. Okay, so we've seen this. We believe this is likely Kinger, because the next scene has... What was that blue? The next scene has Kinger. Okay. Kinger is pointing at Pomni, or behind Pomni, at the buttons. Pomni looks concerned. There is an orb, probably that they find in some cave in this weird adventure thing that they're at. And the orb has a cabin in mountains, but I don't know what that means. This truly, the only thing I've thought of, by the way, is that, like, there's a lot of Monsters, Inc. imagery, and sometimes I think that these other worlds that they go into are Monsters, Inc.-like, where they are other worlds. And I actually have a theory that that each adventure is a multiverse. There's like each one is its own digital circus. And so this is interesting because this is again kind of Monsters, Inc. imagery around the snow and a little hut, and Monsters, Inc. imagery with the doors in episode 1 and all that kind of stuff, right? So I don't know if that's relevant or not at all. We are just word vomiting. We're just thinking about every single thing that could happen. Okay, we're back to the I don't like that. I don't like where is this mannequin? What does it have on its arm? Does it have a wacky watch? Where's Caine's? No, Caine's not always wearing a wacky watch, right? So this is an error. We're getting a blue screen of death error like we did in episode 1, which in episode 1, the blue screen of death error showed some kind of out of bounds. Like basically Caine was trying to access some memory that he could not access, which I believe was just trying to show us that while he was explaining what was inside the digital circus, some part of his brain is blocked off to himself and he cannot access those parts of his memories. And so we're getting something like that. Didn't have the face before, right? We've seen this mannequin without the face. So is this the same mannequin or a different mannequin? Can we see? Does it have a face? Oh my god, it might have a face. Oh, and it's so hard to tell, but it might have a face. Who is this? Does this glitch into something? Because each of these glitch scenes... Oh, no. No. Who is that? That thing freaks me out. That face. I'm like, is that supposed to represent Kinger's face? I don't think so. Jax's door is opening. Okay, so we have the mannequin smiling. Jax's door is opening. We get the again, I think this is like some indication of this glitch. And in fact, you know what? The blue screen of death that Caine is experiencing might be related, right? Like, where is he glitching out? Where is he right now? He's sitting at a dinner table, which is similar to episode 1, the pilot. And he is T-posing in his, like, this is like I'm assuming like a default character model rig animation. So like when you have 3D games, you have them in a default position, and then when they move, then they can move on the hinges and stuff like that. And so this position, sorry, anytime I've seen this position, it's I believe just that default. That mannequin, I need to make a comment. The mannequin's face is terrifying. All right, we're gonna keep going through every frame. We're going through every frame, baby. We're gonna keep going through every frame of this video, and we're overanalyzing every single frame. Cause we're crazy, Call me Crazy Kinger. Call me Crazy Kinger, I don't care, we're analyzing it. Who is that? Okay, that's light. There's some refraction of light with the door. This is the door that is opening. Ooh. The glitch, the door. Who? I'm trying to notice literally every pixel. Is that someone walking behind the door, or is the door just opening? I think the door is just opening slowly. Okay. We're looking at that. We get a glitch. And we get the number 3. This is what we were looking at earlier. Okay, we go through the door. What happens when we go through the door? Where do we end up? Into darkness? I'm skipping through frames. We are getting a lot of darkness. And I believe this is when we hear the voice of whoever it is that says, I think I found the exit. I think I found a way out. Obviously, I think the prevailing theory will be that that's Ribbit. I know I said Kaufmo earlier. I'm sure the prevailing theory will be that is Ribbit. I have a video where I believe Ribbit is voiced by Zach Hadel. And you might be going, why would you even think Kaufmo? Let me show you really fast. So this commercial was made on June 27th, which people will say, right, that these commercials have no lore relevancy. And I disagree with them, actually. But for the sake of this one commercial, I think we can agree that there is lore relevancy, right? Because Gooseworx right here is saying I had some extra creative input on this one, which means that at the very least for this commercial, there will be possibly some lore relevancy. So we're going to start on that assumption. And so this commercial, what happens is they get sucked into this machine, which I believe is actually, this might be like part of kind of the events of what's going on in this episode is my theory. And the machine spits them all out back in a weird way. And one of the things that it does is at the very end, we get this scene. When it spits them all out, listen to Caine. Caine says this is canon, and then someone appears.
I like this. This is canon now.
Oh, hey, Coffee.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? Okay, wait, we can listen to that voice. We can listen to that voice and see if it's the same one.
I think I found the way to leave.
Is that Zach Hadel? Is that Ribbit?
Oh, hey, Coffee.
What's up, guys?
I think I found the way to leave.
I don't know whose voice that is. That doesn't sound like Zach Hadel's voice, and so I don't think that it would be Ribbit. If my theory is true, which it might not be. Is this the same voice? Anybody that watches this, you gotta tell me, because I cannot tell. But I don't even know if this is the canon voice of Kaufmo potentially, right?
I think I found the way to leave.
Is that Zach Hadel?
I think I found the way to leave.
We're gonna look up Zach Hadel now. I have Zach Hadel videos.
The Den of Geek. I think the Den of Geek is giving us like a good
an aura.
An aura, yeah. Like an energy. An aura.
Yeah.
The Michael in the Den of Geek. I think the Den of Geek is giving us like a good
an aura.
An aura,
yeah.
like an energy.
I think I found the way to leave.
So I don't know whose voice that is. So if somebody's watching it and has a better ear than me and can hear that clearly, then let me know in the comments. because I'm having a hard time deciding if that's any of these people and who you think that might be. Obviously, I'm assuming everybody thinks it's going to be Ribbit, but I believe there's a chance it's Kaufmo. Okay, so yeah, that's the commercial. We analyzed the hell out of that commercial. We overanalyzed the hell out of that commercial. And I said a lot of things that a lot of people are probably going to say, what the hell are you talking about? And that's okay. Because that's the point of all these theories, right? I might be totally wrong. I might be completely off base, but at least we're digging in and we're thinking about it. Really fast, going to look at the Zooble parts to see if by chance they are different in the different scenes, because that would be telling. No, they are the same. Okay. So it is the same scene, and this is clearly very ominous. But I think we've done enough. So thank you for watching this. I have no idea how long I've been recording. This is a 58-second video. They could have made it 57 seconds. What if they did? It is 57 seconds! Anyway, man, I need to keep thinking about all these things. This is crazy. We're gonna see some crazy stuff. Jax is in his room by himself, and we know what happens to people that are in the room by themselves. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in a week. And hopefully before then, I'm going to post a videos. It's going to be 8 or 9 theories. It'll probably be less, including theories around Zooble being able, including this being a simulation that is maybe like a Hunger Games style prisoner of war for Kinger, who was the leader of a nation that lost in an AI futuristic war. There's a lot of stuff out there. I don't know how many of these I'm going to put in there. Things like potentially Ragatha and Jax being siblings. They might be brother and sister. I actually think they might be. Just remember, Northpack, if you stay wild, you stay free. So I'll see you on the next one.